If that didn't lift your spirits a little bit, I'm worried about you. You're going to have to wake up. Thank you, Ann and Dan. What a team we got going up there. God bless you. And as Kevin has already mentioned, he stepped in for Dustin Holiday today as Dustin and Jana are in Lubbock celebrating the life of Jana's dad, Mike Tyner, who passed away. Amanda and Dennis Southard are here today. And they've been away a few weeks. He's looked after her dad. And this Thursday, Amanda and family gathered in Jacksonville to celebrate her dad, Jack Williams' life. And then on Friday, we gathered at First Baptist Church of Flint to celebrate the life of Rob Smith, who's CJ and Debbie's son-in-law, and their daughter Stephanie's husband, who passed away from cancer at the age of 50, and their precious children, Garrett and Megan. And just remind you on that note that today is the day we will gather in the gathering place immediately after church for a fundraiser luncheon for Stephanie Smith and her kids. Literally, Stephanie and Rob have been able to work very little over the last year as Rob battled cancer. And we're going to bless them today. Chicken spaghetti is being served, and you just pay for that plate, whatever's on your heart to pay for that plate. And all of that will go to Stephanie and to their two kids. And that's today in the gathering place. I also want to give you a little bit of a heads up from my life and Allison's life. Grandbaby number 8 will soon be here. A baby girl. The thing about this baby girl is she's going to be born in Midland, Texas. So at some point when we get the word, we are headed west very rapidly. Now I can tell you this, if everything is good and fine and well as such, I'm not going to miss a Sunday morning for that. But at the same time, if things are not good and well and such, we may miss a Sunday morning. And so we'll just give you a heads up for that. Also giving a heads up to Dwayne and Trey. There was a pastor, actually my very first pastor I ever had. When I was a youth minister, very first pastor I ever had, he used to have a little saying. He would say this to me. He'd say, keep your guns loaded. And what keep your guns loaded means is you better always have a sermon ready to go, because I may call you from Interstate 20 on Saturday night and say, you're preaching tomorrow. So if that is the case, you got to have your gun loaded already. But sometime, baby girl's due date is follower of Jesus. And I gave you a little preview back 2 weeks ago when I started it. You know what they are. I gave you that preview. And the first one was prayer. And we talked about prayer. And the second one is offering. And so I know that some of you were thinking when the snow and the ice rolled in and we weren't going to be here, you were thinking, I'm going to miss the sermon on offering. God has provided a way out. Too bad. I preached a different sermon on Snow and Ice Day, and I saved the offering sermon for you because you need to hear it. The tithe. The Old Testament word we have is tithe. T-I-T-H-E. And the tithe was very important to the ancient Hebrews. The tithe, the gift, the offering that was given in the context of worship. And it was important because the law of Moses made it so. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, the law of Moses, the 5 books, the Torah. Throughout the Torah, the Bible teaches of the significance of the tithe. It is the Word of God. But as we study the Old Testament tithe, the Mosaic law that came from Moses, as we study that, we realize that it somehow became complicated. We find it in Leviticus 27. We find it in Numbers 18. We find it in Deuteronomy 12 and Deuteronomy 14. All of these teach the people to tithe. But in that, as you study the Old Testament law, at times this giving, which should be giving from the heart, seemed to be complicated and compulsory. The compulsory part was the problem. That people would think, I give because I have to. I give because I don't want to get on God's bad side. It's not it at all. I give because I love the Lord. I give because He loves me even more, and Jesus gave His all for me, and I give in thanksgiving and praise to Him. But as we study the Old Testament word on the tithe and on giving and offering, it is incredibly powerful to me, and I hope to you, to take note that the most significant passage in all of the Bible on tithing and giving comes in the last book of the Old Testament, the book of Malachi. The final word from all of the prophets, the last book, and at the point that Malachi, the prophet, closes his book, there is 430 years of silence. No word from God, no word from the prophets, 430 years of silence until Jesus is born in Bethlehem, or until the next prophet, John the Baptist, comes saying as messenger, there is one coming who is greater than me. The last word from the Old Testament is the most significant word that we have in the Bible about giving back to God. You see, when Malachi was speaking prophetic words to the people from God, the people had strayed from God. That was quite often the case with the prophets. They were speaking words of